get you some. Oh, yeah. Mate, it's lucky she can cook. Wow! G'day lovelies, welcome back. Alright, things are changing just a little bit for a little while. So I'm really busy in the background doing a few things. I am going to put little videos up on Aussie Girl about that. So while I'm busy doing that, what I'm going to do is be putting a video up on Monday nights only. But instead of putting one video up, what I'm going to do is put two up. I'm going to put a savoury and a sweet up every Monday night. So we'll start the week off with the savoury. This is another sausage roll. Now the reason I love this one is because you only need the 500 grams of sausage meat or sausage mince. Now if you've never bought it before, go where they sell the sausages and you'll find it right there somewhere. Now I've got 4 smallish potatoes, so you either need 4 smallish or 2 largish. You need roughly 500 grams of spuds. A little bit under or a little bit over is fine, and they need to be washed. We need 1 egg, 1 large brown onion. I've only got a small one, so that's going to have to do. Either fresh garlic or jar garlic. We need curry powder and ground cumin. 4 sheets of frozen puff pastry, and that is all we need, folks. First thing we want to do is we want to get our spuds, no matter how many you've got, and we want to cut them into quarters into a saucepan. Put them into a pot of water, put them on the stovetop, bring them up to the boil, then turn them down to a simmer. Cook them until they're just soft. You don't want them soggy, we want them just soft. When they're just soft, put them in a strainer and let them drain out really well. Alright, I pretty much just left them in the strainer for 10 minutes to really drain out properly because we need them cold at room temperature anyway. Alright, now we're just going to dry mash it. So nothing in there, just mash it up, and then we want to put it into a large bowl. Now we'll sit that aside to go completely cold while we do the next thing. Alright, we're going to get our large brown onion and we're going to skin it and chop it up as small as we can. Now, once we've done that, if you're using fresh garlic, you want to get 2 cloves and your crusher ready to go. Small frying pan, medium heat, just a little bit of oil, doesn't matter what oil, whatever you've got. Onion. We want to add 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, 1 teaspoon of curry powder, whatever curry powder you've got. Now you want to put 2 cloves of fresh garlic crushed in there, or 2 heaped teaspoons of jar garlic. Now we want to keep tossing that around until the onion is soft. Okay, once the onion is soft and there's no liquid, everything's really dry, turn it off and we want to chuck it on top of our spuds. Oh, now the smell of those spices is amazing. Now I got this recipe off of a neighbour a couple of decades ago. Okay, now that that's completely cold, we want to preheat our ovens at 220 degrees Celsius. We want to get our 4 sheets of puff pastry to thaw, and we need a baking tray with some baking paper. Alright, while they're thawing out and that's heating up, we now want to grab our 500 grams of sausage meat or mince. So what I'll do is just with some scissors, I'll cut the end off, and then I'll get the other end and start squeezing it out from there. So I'll just chop that through with a knife first and then get a fork and mix it through. So once we've mixed it through enough with a fork, so I just kept doing that and just chopping and doing it until we get to it looking like this. Alright, once we've done that, we want to flatten it down. Once we flatten it down as best we can, we want to just roughly divide it in half and then in quarters. Always get it wrong anyway, but it's still a bit closer than just trying to just randomly guess. Alright, and then we want those in quarters, so we want 8, and then we just want to dig out each one for each roll. Now we want to get 1 egg and we want to just whisk it with a fork. Alrighty, once our pastry's thawed out, we want to fold it in half. Now we don't want to push down on the whole thing because it'll be hard to get open again. We just want to push down on the crease, so we're giving ourselves a line. Then open it back up. Then with a knife, cut it down that crease. I'll just show you on one of them. Okay, we get our first 1/8. Make it into a log along there. Alright, now we just grab it off the plastic, fold it over. Alright, tuck it in and roll, and see how I've got a nice 1 centimetre down there. Roll it over it, pull it off. Okay, then turn it back onto its seam, and then push it down a little bit, nice and gently. Okay, so the seam side's down. Now we cut that in half. We cut the tiniest little bit of the ends off. Now with these ones, because we've got potato in them, they will steam a little bit. So instead of doing the upside down inverts like we normally do, we're actually going to cut with the right side up, little slits in the top. So make sure you cut through. Still gently, but cut through. Now at this stage, you would put them on your baking trays with your baking paper, or if you wanted to put them in the fridge, they'd last a couple of days in the fridge, and then when someone gets home, you can just bang them straight in and cook them instantly, or you can freeze them for whenever you want them. So to store them in the fridge or freezer, I'll get out some Glad wrap. I will place one there. I don't know if you can see, I'm just out of view. Place one on it. Wrap the Glad wrap over it so the next one is not touching. Put your second one on. Alright, grab your Glad wrap. Wrap it over it. Under. You can store them exactly like that in the fridge, or you can store them exactly like that in the freezer. So if someone comes home, you've got them in the fridge for a couple of days, someone comes home, you'd put them on your trays just like that. You put your egg wash over the top and you bang them in exactly the same as we're going to do now. If you were to put them in the freezer, you put them in the freezer like that. When you're ready, you get them out, unwrap them, put them on the trays to thaw out a little bit. You leave them sit there for about 10 minutes, just till the pastry on the top thaws out. Then you can put your egg wash on, and then you bang them in, and they might take an extra couple of minutes to 5 minutes. Alrighty, once that's done, so all up they made 16, which is fantastic. Okay, either with a pastry brush or your fingertips, we just want to coat them in the egg. Now once we've done that, you can leave them like that and put them in plain, or you can put sesame seeds on, or poppy seeds. Now our oven's up to temperature, bang them in there. Oh my God, they smell amazing up in here. 25 minutes later in my electric oven. Get your lips around these babies. Well, there you have it, lovelies. Awesome, fresh, filling sausage rolls. So they stay really hot for a while. So make sure you cool them down really well before you give them to the kids. Give them a crack. They won't be disappointed. I'll write the recipe below as always. See you in an hour. Toodles.